Good morning, everybody. John here. Hey, I want to take a few minutes this morning to talk to you about five lies that I believe are keeping many of us from maximizing our true potential. In my coaching practice, I have an opportunity to work with a lot of different clients in a lot of different fields, different walks of life, different belief systems. And one of the things that I see consistently with my clients, even with friends and family members, is there are five lies that we tend to just they tend to keep coming up over and over again. We may not be, engaged in all five at one time, but these are five that are keeping so many of us from maximizing our true potential. I know for me, for many years, I told myself a couple of these, and it wasn't until had a breakthrough and I really realized that wow, this isn't true. That things began to go in a different direction, and I believe they will for you as well. The first one is I'm not as gifted as him or her, someone else. So many of us got some kind of negative feedback, right, when we were kids from well-meaning adults that told us, well, why can't you be as smart as your sister? Or why can't you be more athletic like your brother? Or why can't you be like this person or that person? So internally, we internalize rather a message that, hey, we're not as good as someone else. I'm not as gifted as someone else. So, we brought that forward, and wherever we are, 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, I'm in my 50s, right? So I know I still have some of these, but I'm aware of it. And that's the key. But when we buy into that, I'm not as gifted or someone else, we're dumbing down in a way. So it's really important that we realize each one of us was born with a specific set of gifts and talents. We've more than likely things that we feel that we're really good at. Like I tend to think that I'm an above average communicator, doing videos like this and writing. So I tend to gravitate towards working with that and getting better. And I feel confident in that most of the time. So whatever it is that you feel comfortable with, you feel good about it, you feel your gifts, run with those. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. I'll never be a brain surgeon. I wouldn't have even got admitted in a medical school. However, I serve a purpose, and I've been, a person of value to so many people for many years because I have an intuitive ability to help people solve problems and help people see, be a set of eyes that helps people see things that give them clarity so that they can go on and do great things in their lives. So I would never compare myself to somebody who's in a different field, somebody who's far more educated than I am. I don't want to compare myself. The second thing I hear from time to time is, well, I'm not attractive enough. I'm too heavy, or I don't have the right looks, and I don't have this and that. And, I say right then and there, stop. Every one of us, God gave every one of us, different physical attributes. Some of us are bigger, some of us are smaller, some of us are black, some of us are white, some of us are this, some of us are that. And that's how it was tested to be for us. So what we do with our talent is far more important than our looks. And I realize in today's world, Madison Avenue has given us an illusion that, if you really want to be somebody, you better look like this, your hair better be flowing, you better be driving a sports car along the coast, type thing. But that's an illusion. That's not true for 99.9% of us. That's not our reality. That's not our lives. So when we start to get caught up in the look thing, I understand that looks do open doors. Once you get inside, whether or not you stay in the building is going to be based on your competence, your abilities to communicate, your ability to get along with others, your work ethic. All those things are going to trump looks all day long. So if you start getting caught up where you're comparing yourself with somebody else, and you feel like, well, if I just were like them, then I could have the success that they do. Stop. It's not worth your time. Work with what you have. By all means, take care of yourself, be healthy, but work with what you have. The second one, I don't have the right education. I don't have the right degrees. I know a lot of people that are multimillionaires. I know a lot of people that are in corporate America today in high positions, believe it or not, that didn't spend a whole lot of time in college. I have a friend of mine who's an executive in a Fortune 500 company, worked her way up through the ranks that never even went to college. So I'm not taking anything away from college. I know the importance of the education. education. However, I'm not saying that that is going to be a determining factor to whether or not you were successful. We've all heard the classic stories of Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. They're college dropouts. They're exceptionally talented, visionary people. However, I don't have the right education, I don't have the right degree, stop you. I'll take the I will over the IQ all day long. People with a high I will figure out a way to make their mark. It may require that they go to night school. They'll get that extra degree, get a certification. Don't let that hold you back from doing great things. One of the classics I hear all the time, and we've all heard this from friends and family too, is, gosh, John, I'd really like to, but I don't have the time. And I contend that every single one of us can find the time for anything it is that we truly desire to do. I know that certainly I can create time. If it's something that's important to me that I want to do, I'll find the time. So I don't have the time tends to be an avoidance strategy more than anything else. So when you start to catch yourself doing that, stop and say, is that true? It's better just to say, hey, I'm not interested than tell yourself you don't have the time. You will have the time for the things you want to do. So it's another lie we're telling ourselves. Then finally, I just didn't come from the right family. I didn't come from the right background. Unfortunately, we didn't have the money to go to college, or we didn't have my family's always been blue collar workers. That's fine, but that doesn't mean that you have to be too. If you want to break away to pursue your dreams, to pursue your passion, by all means, don't use family of origin and the fact that, well, everyone in my family's done this and no one's ever gone to college. Be the first person to go. If you really want to go to college, you really want to pursue your dreams, and that's what it takes, be the first person to go. People say, well, we don't have success in our genes. We're just destined to be. That's not true at all. Again, I go back to the I will. The I will is so much higher than the IQ. It trumps it all the time. If somebody truly wants to follow their passion, follow their dreams, they'll find a way. So what I found over the years that's true for me, when I changed my story, the story I was telling myself, the lies I was telling myself, because I've told every single one of these at some point in time. There's one or two that I still dance around every now and then. It comes in, but I quickly stop and say, is that true? No, that's not true. The only thing that's going to limit me in my life is what's between here and here, which is about 8.5, 9 inches on my forehead. But it's what's between here, this 9-inch area right across here. What's in there dancing around is going to prevent me from success more than any of the limitations and the lies I put out here. So all 5 of these are avoidance strategies. I just encourage you to be mindful of when they're coming up in your life, when they're slipping in. It's usually when we're about to do something big or we're thinking about entertaining, and then that ego starts kicking in and go, John, you're not attractive enough, not educated enough, certainly you don't have the time, etc., etc. They're lies. Stop it. Don't believe it, because if you do, it's limiting your potential and the major impact you can have on the world. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I'll be back in the breakthrough zone here again later this week with a new message. Until then, take care. If you'd like to learn anything about my practice, go to www.jpburtongroup.net. That's jpburtongroup.net. And I look forward to seeing you back here in the breakthrough zone. Bye for now.